MetsMinute Nation, it is me, Todd, back for another week of Mets Minute. Got an exciting show ahead of us. I'll have a special guest on to bring a separate commentary to mine about the state of the NL East and one team in particular. But before then, it's your week in review. Last week we talked a lot about Bartolo Colon and his amazing home run. Of course, that was a great feat in itself. But what I loved to see this week is that his mentorship, his inspiration has rubbed off on some other pitchers. As we all know in MetsMinute Nation, Noah Syndergaard dropped the hammer with 2 home runs himself on Wednesday night or Tuesday night, the night that we won this week, basically. So that was incredibly fun to see. Only the second pitcher in Mets history to hit 2 in one night. And of course, the other one was that somebody, Terrell, back in 1983. I know you guys knew that. I just wanted to say it for everybody else. So that was exciting to see. JPLP Games made a great comment on the video last week, which we all appreciated here, talking about how he felt like Bartolo could actually become more of a coach after his playing career, and I think that's right on. I hope he does it with the Mets. He should probably learn English at some point. That might help the coaching aspects, but it's also a very visual game, so there's a lot of ways of going there. So appreciated the comment, and it was fun to see that rub off on other pitchers. I think the meat of what I wanted to talk to you about this week, though, was Matt Harvey. Last night, Friday, he took his 5th loss of the year, going to 3-5 with a 4.5 ERA. Obviously, this is not the dark night that we know of. He's always kind of lived off of his larger-than-life personality, his kind of wanting to be the next Derek Jeter in New York City and dominant baseball player, and we haven't seen that last year. You'd think we would have this year. We would think we would have seen it last year coming off of Tommy John, but it's really pronounced itself here. The most concerning part in my mind is that he's stated over and over again that nothing physical is the problem here. And he really can't pinpoint the issue. He's spending a tremendous amount of time with Dan Worthen, the pitching coach, and we hope that this is something that can get turned around, but it's just not easily identifiable. So it's obviously concerning to Panic City and to Mets Nation here as well. So it's something we need to keep our eyes on, but this isn't the pitcher that we were counting on. And with Steven Matz going down this week as well, there's a concern, obviously, especially with kind of a subpar week on the road here, our longest road trip of the year. So there's some concerns, but I'm still excited as always the optimist. And honestly, it could be worse, which brings me to my first segment of the year, introducing good friend of the Mets Minute here, Mr. Avi, local Braves fan. Love to have you on the show. Great to have you on.
Great to be here. Really fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Appreciate your time and great walk-up music. I appreciate kind of everything that you're bringing to the show today. But even more so, it's fun to talk to a Braves fan because, for our entire lifetime, this has been something that you have dominated us in, the sport of baseball, that's being what I'm discussing here. So I'm kind of interested, this year, just tell me, what has it been like to be a Braves fan?
Well, difficult to say the least, Todd.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've paid attention to the Braves
It's
this
been
year.
fun, I have bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you watch the Braves, you recognize what's happened, that the front office has burned the franchise to the ground and then taken a massive dump on the ashes.
Well, I mean, you guys are replacing your stadium and moving out to the burp, so I guess that's part of the process.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
And then packaging that and selling it to the fans as a Major League Baseball club, which is the real feat to me. Feel bad for Freddie Freeman. Felt bad for him for a while, but this is day 589 of his captivity on a fast-moving train into a brick wall.
True. I mean, he'll be gone by July, hopefully, for his sake.
His sake, we're all hoping he gets out of jail soon.
Yeah.
But I think, I do take some comfort in the fact that the Braves are pursuing a record of their own this year.
I can't imagine what that would be.
Well, something that the 62 Mets set the mark for.
Yeah, I mean,
120 losses.
That would. We don't have a lot of records, but that's one I'm willing to give to the Braves faithful.
It was a little dicey there for a couple weeks because we kept getting a win here or there, taking us off the pace. But I can confirm, based on my math, as of today,
which I would rely on.
Yeah. The Braves are on pace for 121 losses.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's something to be real happy about. And we're hoping that we can reach that mark
Yeah.
and, you know, etch that into our season and our franchise history.
I'm sorry I haven't stopped smiling for this whole segment. One is just I love having you on the show.
Oh, it's great to be here. Like
Great
I said,
guy.
yeah.
But two, there's just something I really thoroughly enjoy about hearing about your thoughts about the Braves this year in particular. And so I really appreciate you coming on. I wish corporate would give us more time, but it's been a pleasure, and I think everybody at Mets Nation wants to have you back soon.
I'd love to come back.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So let me wrap it here. Of course, we had the question last week, which of the Mets are going to actually make the All-Star team? Appreciated the comments. I think by the end of the week, every single player had been mentioned as a potential candidate for it, so we'll see how that works out, but I appreciate the enthusiasm from the nation. I'll leave you with this question to ponder for this week. Who finishes with the most home runs on the team this year? Neil Walker had a huge start at 9. Cespedes is doing his thing. He's got at least 12. You've got Duda, who's going to go on a streak at some point. Granderson's going to continue to do what Grandy does. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe even D. Wright, probably not. But that's the question to leave you with this week. Mets Nation, have a great week. We'll see you next time. You got to believe.